Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron, and we're going to go through Making Witches and Sorcerers for the Lord RPG. Right? How do you... It's a Christian role-playing game, but how do you... I want to play Dungeons & Dragons. I want to play fantasy. I want to play a dungeon crawl or some fun, I get it, and I'm working very hard to make this game like that, but also to keep to our faith, to keep to evangelizing, do the gospel, but also... I am reading Dark Ages stuff, firsthand accounts, and this is in there. This stuff is in there, and I'm exaggerating it. I'm extrapolating out of it, but it's in there, and we should have fun, and we should have those moments of dark, demonic, fantasy, adventure, but also I had a church service in the last game, which was totally cool. They built the church, and I threw all the villagers in there, and then the characters like, oh, well, what's going on? We want to do the church thing. What is it that, it was just great. So they're building churches in this dark, grim fantasy world, village by village, moving on and converting, and I'm having a wonderful, awesome time with this. So, and I want to share that with you, and hopefully you can have a wonderful time. And the game is free. I made it free. I know I'm doing a Kickstarter with a print version, and I plan on doing some more Kickstarters because I do believe in paying for things. So thusly, I'm making you pay for things. But I want the first game to be free, so you all have access to that. But the more you pay me, a good, nice little. The more I feel very encouraged to do stuff like this, and thusly I buy things too to encourage the artists. And I even like the book being printed is printed locally because I want to try to get small business stuff. I want to support small business if I can, even if it's a few dollars more. I buy my beef from a local rancher because we got to get off Walmart, Amazon, and all that, even off YouTube, but, as much as we can. So, and that's why I'm doing the shows, and I want to get them to Christian streaming services. I could just keep doing this for YouTube, which is I'm doing it, but I want to take them to Christian streaming services. But in order to do that, I have to put in a ton of money. If I just did YouTube, which I'm doing now, it's free, and I could just keep doing it like this and just blah blah blah, which is okay. But it's not. I want to help or go for the Christian streaming services, try to build that up. And thusly, I'm going to the NRB and all this stuff and spending tons of money, and which I don't have to do, but I'm doing it because I want to support this small Christian streaming services to help build them up if possible. So, but I think this is it. I'm spending a ton of money here, and okay, if they say no, then I did the best I could to get this across to our Christian brothers and sisters about the importance of it. Okay. I just went off on a different direction. Okay, so let's make witches and sorcerers and the thought process. And I just have this open for the fun of the little dungeon I made, or it's more like a mining thing. But I can make I will make another one that's like under Milan or Rome, like the crypts and tombs, and then the bishop and stuff says, hey, we need you to go down there because there's some maybe bad stuff going on down there, so they can go down there. But and yes, evil spirits and demonic spirits are definitely part of Christianity. Okay, this is ignore this. Is just background and some cool music. I'm gonna make and I'm using Foundry, but you can just do this on paper. Let me start. I'm making witches and sorcerers. I got a folder here, and let me start with a Hexa. Hexa is German for witch, so we'll do a Germanic tribe witch, and these are all available too for download and print. You can printer friendly versions. She looks German, and I'm gonna always make more too. I always like doodling and drawing, and look how simple this is. So you can obviously do your own version of drawing or whatever. Okay, so here she is, and I'm just looking at her, and a Germanic. So for the Germanic tribe, this one I'm gonna do. And that's the thing, you got when you pick a witch or sorcerer, think of a theme. Like for her, will it be the beasts? I think I want to start off with just. She does the warriors. I'm coming up lycanthropy, but it's lycanthropy in this sense. Wolf Viking, like in the Northmen where they wore the wolf stuff, and then they got all kind of. So there, I am reading and have read where the Inquisitors and even in the pre-Catholic, the early church, they're asking how the pagans get the men to turn into beasts. Right? How do they get them to turn into beasts, to animals? So that's like something that they're like, they feel people have witnessed, seen, whatever. And they just write it down like, well, these are what they're seeing. This is what they're, fearful of. And so this is the character. She's turning her warriors of the clan for the leader into wolfmen who terrorize and control this area. And so I'm going to have varying degrees of wolfmen, like a cult, the low-level cult sort of young warrior, and then the major warrior who's fully decked out in the garb and acts like one, and then some wolf beasts that are strong, powerful wolves who are, do they stand up? Are they upright? Are they human? Are they wolf? You're not even sure anymore, and they've got that demonic possession. And she's going to be the climactic ending, her and the wolf leader or whatever. So I don't know how much, I'm just giving you kind of a vague what I hope to do in that little campaign. Okay, that rule that area that terrorized the villages, and then the Christians come in and have to slowly learn of these different scary, legends and myths and terrors that the villagers have, and it grows as they further along through the valley, through the forest or whatever. So this witch is going to be, and I can make like the weaker version of this witch, because there'll be some minion follower, like the coven of like say 2 weaker ones and then her. But let me just see. Let me just go on and see. So first aggression, which I always for witches do low, 0. They're not going to attack. Aware is next. I just feel like they're old and they don't really care about this stuff. They're not dodgy. They're not aware. They don't need to be aware of things. But I'll still give her a 2 because she's going to be aware in the sense of like spotting. Actually, that's more social. So I'm gonna just do. She doesn't care, 0 for now. I could change this around. Secrecy, I'm gonna give her a 2, but this is I'm considering this to be the higher level. So maybe like a 3. So +3 to anything she wants to hide. She wants to hide things. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't care about that either. Let me just put a 0. I'm kind of, until I figure this out, until I figure out her character. And to me, 0 means think about it. Secrecy. What's after secrecy? I'm forgetting my own things. Let's see, there's intellect, spirit. I usually do spirit next. So spirit is where I'm going to say a 5, and intellect is a 5. That's scary. Social is where she's a 5 too. 4 or 3. Okay. So spirit and intellect. She uses both of them. So this is the powerful witch, right? And I'll probably redraw her too. I'll probably do like a wolf, or might even make her beautiful. I don't know. Token, but and that'll be in the annual membership. Sorry, it won't be in the basic. But whatever. Okay, so 5 and 5. So she'll have 10 magic points every encounter to use, because it's 5 for her spiritualism, pagan spiritualism, and 5 for her preparation. So they get both of them. But what I do, and then of course clerics only get their spirit, or the Christians only get our spirit. But the thing is that the pagans have to split the traits up between the two. So they're weaker when it comes to courage, when it comes to being rebuked from the clergy, the nuns or the clerics. So that's the sort of the balance there. And I've noticed when I'm reading too that's the way it is. They're always the pagan magicians and stuff are always, and witches always have to make things. And so that's intellect to me. They have to focus on that a lot. And when the clergy come into the town and rebuke them, based on, statistically speaking, the clergy always won. And then the story, and when I've been reading, they win too. They generally beat them just through their faith, through their rebuking, through their, and then doing some miracles. Whereas the witches and magicians, they have to do specific things to the people or theatrics, and then when they're confronted about it, when they don't get to do the show they want to do, And then when the Christian comes in and criticizes, attacks what they're doing, they can't do the show they want to do because they're not, it's not their stage, it's not the right place. They end up looking like fools. Kind of, I mean, based on what I've been reading. Okay, sorry, I'm a very face nosy, sniffly guy. Okay, so her defense is going to be 12. I might even make it 10, but whatever. She's generally not going to be in the combat, and then if she is, it means that she's all of her protection is gone, and she's getting desperate anyway. So armor none, and her armor save is none, and her vigor is, I'll give her 10. She's a big tough old lady. Okay, and we're done with all her basic stats for that. Now let's do, does she have a weapon? Dagger. I mean, she's only, I'm going to make her a little wolfy thing. She has a claw hammer, just for the fun of it. Claw hammer. So I'm going to give her a little bit of aggression, just because she's maybe a little, so +2, and I'm going to give her a little +d4. She does use it. And the claw hammer, it only does like d6, but it has a poison on it. Poison, I'm going to make it TR 14. Got to save, or d6 more, or minus d6. Minus d4. Let's do, well, she's high level, so minus d6. Poisoned. I mean, I know it's poison, minus d6. So there's her basic weapon. If she hits with the claw hammer, she's got little poisons on the end of it. She keeps it dirty. Well, not dirty, poisoned. She has a poison. And if that scrapes you and gets you in your blood, TR save 14. If you fail in the trial rating 14, you got to beat this with aggression or spirit. I kind of let them do either one. Obviously the clergy and the warrior. Or they're going to be at minus d6. And the duration is just, do they rest? Do they get healing? It's going to be, it's going to be the affliction. So the minus d6, it's going to be the actual affliction. But in my mind, I know it's a poison. So if they just rest the night, it's not going to be like a cut wound, right? Or that kind of a wound. It's going to be a poison that they just need to get out of their system. And they need rest to do it. And until they get that rest and the body can use its immune system to fight off, they are going to be at minus d6. So it's a long-term effect. But she doesn't use it normally. She will have other things. She's going to have a lot of black magic, right? Because she's the wolf stuff. So she's going to have rituals and stuff. But let's just start. But what I like to start off with is more the immediate combat-y stuff. So she's going to have feral, and this is what you do. This is the freedom of this game. You make it up right on the spot. What I'm doing. Just think about it. What does she have? What can she have that's powerful? Well, if she's got these wolf warriors next to her, she's always going to have a powder that gives them, enrages them. She's immune to the powder, because she makes it. She's always around it, but she puffs it out at them. Feral powder, blast. So that's how many it can affect. D6. And, I know it makes them, suicidal. They're not going to give up. They're not going to do the denouement thing. They're not going to, they're going to be enraged. So, and then it gives them a plus D4. Is it going to give them rage? Rage and reckless, like in D&D, rage and reckless. It's something like that. So plus D4 to hit. Damage. That's a lot right there. Just the damage part. Plus D4 to damage. And I'm going to lower the defense. Lower defense by 2. So they're just crazy. Feral powder. Okay, what else? And this is her magic. So she uses these 10 magic points to do this. So just to keep this simple, I'm going to say this costs 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 magic points. Because the blast, that's how much area. So it could be D4, D6, that's 2. And then to hit damage is +2, and then, or is 1. And the plus d4, and then the plus d4 to damage, that's 1. So it's 4 magic points. So let me just do that right now. Just put that in there so I know. 4 MPs. Call it magic. That's the first time I've ever called it MPs, magic points. Feral powder. What else? So I wouldn't even call it feral powder then. I know it's feral powder, but it's whatever. It's our magic, so it's fine. What else does she have? Prepared, ready to go. And by the way, the actually the points are called prepared points, not magic points. But I'm gonna have to decide when to call. Should it be magic points? Should it be prepared points? Because you guys, the Christians, will have a magi at some point who's converted from a Greek magician or whatever magician, and he's gonna have prepared points. But it's the same as the magic points. Or take that back, it's all intellect, so it's just prepared points. So we might even have 3 sets of points here: faith points, magic points, and prepared points. Prepared points means they're just using their intellect. So the magi is just using his intellect to prepare Greek fire, black powder, things like that. Black powder, flashbangs, black powder smoke, black powder explosion, Greek fire fireball, Greek fire firewall. Those are all prepared points. Anyway, so I guess I'll just do all 3. Okay, so feral powder. What else does she have? She uses theatrics, fire. So she's going to use fire to get them all going. Like that, she throws it into the fire, and it explodes, and they're all dancing around the fire, right? To prepare for their battle. So she knows about fire, using fire. So fireball. Let's just use a fireball. And that's, blast, and fireball +0. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, oh yeah, she doesn't need to. There's no to hit. It's just blast. So she can decide how many. So I'm going to say D4. Because the party's probably going to be up to 4 people. So I'll just say she does a blast D4 normally on them. The damage is, I'm going to give it a TR. The normal TR is 12 for anything. So if they want to dodge, so this one would be a dodge. It could also be aggression because it's about toughening up and avoiding the fire. And aware is the same thing. It's about you being aware and getting out of the way. Aggression is like you tumbling or rolling out of the way. Or you just tough up, you grin and bear it. And she could increase that if she wanted, make it more intense of a save. I don't think she will. And then the damage, of course, can be D4 or more. So, and you do get an armor save. I think the armor does help save against fire because, you're covered just like a firefighter. So it's pretty much the same thing as everything else. Now, if someone is on fire, so I might do something like this. If someone is on fire, each turn you roll the damage. It starts at, for regular fire, it's D4. For oil, it's D6. And I have a little rule in there in the thing. If you roll high, then it increases. If you roll low, on the low side of it, it decreases the die. So it can go to 0, or it can keep going up to D12 and just keep burning. And if you just say you take 1 turn to put it out, you put it out. Or maybe I'll roll, depending on if it feels like it's, you need a TR 12, trial rating of 12 to put it out. Or to reduce it a die, I guess, would be more mean. And again, you can just decide. So fireball blast, but let me do the oil. She does an oil thing. She just throws the oil on him. That could blind him, right? But then next turn, it's flammable, right? So that's her thing. Oil, blast, D4. I don't know if there's a save. Yeah, TR 12. just aware, just the dodge. That's it only. So that means that because the aggression doesn't matter. If she's just throwing oil on you, it doesn't really matter, right? So this here is going to be 2 magic points for a fireball. 2 MPs, but I can increase it. She could do D6, she could do D6 damage. It just depends on how much she throws out, and like a magnesium whoosh, and throws out this fire blast. And also I don't allow, like, I only want to get these 2 people. She wants to get the villains, the bad or the good guys. But if she does say there's only 3 of them, and then there's a one of her warriors next to her, and she rolls a 4, she gets all 4, including the warrior next to her. And if there's only 3 of them there, and I wouldn't let her get herself unless she fumbled. Okay. Oil thing, yeah. So this is, so if you have oil on you, you're minus D4. Vision. And then again, if they just wipe it off or try to get it, how do they get it off, the oil? But then you're, susceptible to the fire. So, okay. Susceptible to her fire attack. Susceptible to fire, right? So the TR of that, TR is going to go up to 14. Yeah, make it 16. And plus D4 damage. See? So she has a feral powder to make her warriors rough, and then she has a oil thing, which she can do, and a fireball. So let me put the oil thing first. She does it that way. So I really think this is all she needs, at least as far as this part of it for combat. Because she will have some warriors with her. I think another thing she could have, though, is like a howl, like a wolf thing. I almost wonder, though, if this fire thing should be for another wizard, like the warlock or something, and not her. So I got to be more creative with the lycanthropy connection in this. What else could she have? Feral powder, wolf. I mean, she might even have some wolf pets, right? Which would make them crazy. Let me think. What else should she have that freaks them out? Oh, she could have a. Oh, I know. So, she has a spray that spray attractant. So the wolves will attack whoever she sprays, right? Spray attractant, blast, and it makes the wolves, fight to the death. And he frenzies them, gets them frenzied. So blast D4, plus D4 to wolves attacking. So there's not even a defense. Oh, there's at least the aware defense. They can dodge. So TR12 aware only. Plus D4 to wolves attacking. So she's gonna have some wolves, and they're gonna be doing that. But see, she can give this to the wolves or to her warriors, and then she can do the spray attractant, which plus D4 to wolves attacking, which will increase the to hit of that one. Okay, what else? I feel like I want to do. She has wolf urine, which she can spray. I know, another blast D4, TR12. It can be anything, aware or aggression or spirit. Minus D4 foulness. So it's not an affliction like a wound. It's just affects their vision, affects the smell of it. Trying to think if I want to make it that they lose a turn. I'm gonna say minus D6. Yeah, just minus D4. Wolfurine Blast D4. I could do more just magical type sensations on this. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. Let's just go with this for now, and I can always change it, or I could always change things around with other sorcerers. The way I format this now is all of the things that she can do are there. Okay, rituals. Wolf Spirit. Gets warriors into wolf mode. So they might. The reason I add rituals is because it could help with the story, like descriptive. It's more descriptive too. It's what she does. Gets warriors into wolf mode. Create her concoctions. So that's kind of a given anyway, that they spend time creating their stuff, and they do it. Sometimes they'll do it through a ritual. All the stuff that she has here: feral powder, spray attractant, wolf urine. Wonder what kind of ritual that is. Oil thing, fireball blast. I could also see the wolf urine helping her make gunpowder. Because gunpowder comes from sulfur, some sort of urine extract, drying it. I don't know the exact process, and charcoal. So she could be making, fireball blast and all that. So I think this is enough for her. What else does she need? I mean, I could make some notes in here on her, who she is, like what she is, what she's doing. What's her, let's see, I can't remember now. I can't remember which was which. As far as, put them both. Let's say 10. Okay, 10's at the top, which it's not. I wish it would just tell me which is which. This is the armor, right? 12. Defense, I mean. And then her vigor, 10. Okay. Hexa, wolf witch? Witch of the wolves? Hexa, Hund? Oh, Hund is German. Hexa, Hund Hexa. Hexahund. Hexahund. Right? German. Hund is German for wolf. Let me see. English. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen. It's just, I learned it in high school. So one semester in college. But then I realized I'm never going to use it. Dog. Hund, yeah. Wolf? Wolfen. I like Hund. Hexahund. Okay. Hexahund. So she's Hexahund. The Hund clan. Wolfens. Okay, so ritual. Wolf spirit gets warriors into wolf mode. Create her concoctions. She's an advisor to the wolf chieftain. Advisor to the wolf chieftain. Speaks to evil spirits. Wolf spirits. Oh, and she has wolves. Tames wolves. So, I take that back. Do they tame wolves? Because they're skinning the wolves. They're taking the wolves' skulls and heads. I don't know if they're going to have them. I don't know if the wolves are going to like being around. Well, she's going to, of course they are, because she's demonically possessing some of them too. So, wolf spirit gets wolves into the mode. Demonic. I think of wolves that she tortures them. That's what it is. Torture. So they capture the wolves. She tortures the biggest ones into becoming these demonic wolves, and then the rest they slaughter and use for their garb. So that's going to be evil. So there we are. There's one witch, and I got to build it out. So that's all I'm going with right now. Let me make a note of that in here, and I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this over into the PDF documents. Advises, speaks to evil spirits, wolf spirits. The wolf tribe captures wolves, tortures, kills, uses them. Feeds some rabid food, then unleashes on villages. So they have demonic dogs or Devilhund. What's devil in German? I forgot. English to German. Devil. Teufelhund. Let's see what Damonhund. Teufelwolf. Wolf. Whatever. I'm just, coming up with names that people will say around in that area, whether it's the tribe, the wolf tribe, or the locals. Chieftain. Okay, and I'll be working on this soon enough. I'll probably draw out a better witch. Let's move on, because I'm just kind of starting. Okay, let me do a sorcerer. Sorcerer. Let me do a striga. What's a striga? A striga is the Greek word for witch, I think. Pretty sure. Magisa. Oh, but the striga's in there somewhere. I don't know where it came from, but let me see if I can do it. I read it in my old book, so. Striga? Strixa. Strix. I don't know. I like the word, so it doesn't say. It's in my book. Striga and Strixa. Let me see if there's let me just do a Google. Striga. Oh, okay. As witchweed. Strigoi is Polish, Slavic. It's a woman transformed into a monster by a curse. Yeah. Okay. Well, of course, for the D&D, it's very... Witcher games, they have a Striga. It's like a beast. Anyway, I'm going to do a Striga, and that's going to be... so wait. Transformed into a monster. Well, the Witcher, but what's the actual Strigoi? Romanian. Troubled spirits, risen from the grave, transformed into an animal, become invisible, gain vitality from the blood of their victims. Strigoi. Oh, so Strigoi is kind of like a vampire. Oh, so yeah, there's a vampire section in my book, or in the setting where they, cannibal or vampire or whatever. So Striga. So this is going to be the leader of the vampires then. Ooh. And I have some dark dudes here. These two. I'll do this guy. He's kind of a fireball dude, though. I was going to make him like a fireball guy. I'll do this guy. Striga. Pretty neato, huh? Okay, let's start with him. Aggression. 2. Aware. 3. Why? Secrecy. 4. Spirit. 3. Because he's going to be a little physical. Intellect. 3. And social. 3. I don't know. Just want 3s on this guy. Defense. 15. Because it's 12 plus the aware of 3. Armor. Robes. Heavy robes. Robes. And save is a 1. And his vigor is a 12. He's a little bit more vivacious guy. He's going to have a blood dagger. So I'm just making this up. Blood dagger. Plus 2. Plus D4 because he's got some skill in it. And it has a bleed of 4. So it's very bleedy, right? D4 damage. Oh no, I'm going to say D6 because he's good at it. but his bleed is the way it's curved. It really causes a bleed. Bleed normally is 6 for daggers, and then you have to upgrade it. But I'm giving him a d6 damage, and he bleeds 4. So what does bleed 4 mean? If he rolls a 4 on the damage, then the person is bleeding one hit point vitality per round. Just real simple, and it won't stop until they stop it. And an armor save can only avoid that bleed 4 if it rolls a 4 or more, whatever the bleed is. So that's pretty cool there. And then does he have a bite? Like they sharpen their teeth? Okay, yeah, bite. +2. Just a D6. Same thing, bleed. Well, make this a D4, so it's a little harder. Just +2. Bleed 4. What else? Oh, if this succeeds, let's say if this succeeds, if succeeds, he gets, invigorates, right? Because the blood, invigorates D4. Right? That's kind of cool. Kind of freaky deaky. I spell invigorate. Saying I didn't spell it right. Invigorate. Is it I? Invigorate? Yeah, it's I. Okay. Okay. Invigorates D4. See, that's pretty cool right there. Okay. Glare. Definitely gonna have a glare. So that's his this is his magic now. He's definitely got a glare. And the glare drains someone. TR 12 drains a random trait. Yeah, it's just for the random trait. D4. Now that's it. I'm not going to increase the magic points of that because it's hold on, I gotta go do some stuff. So we're on glare. Okay, got a bunch of family stuff going on here. So glare, a regular trial rating of 12, drains a random trait D4. I'm going to keep it that simple. I'm not going to, because draining a trait is pretty big because it affects all your rolls. And what's the duration? When they can recover. Descriptively, when you feel like they've recovered, when a priest comes up and prays for them or when they get a moment. So definitely not in the combat itself, right? And this will be, and I've got to put like a quick, what's the magic point cost of that? 1, I'm going to say, 2 or 3. It's pretty big, so 3. And, just doing a trait thing. So what am I doing now? I'm an experienced GM, so I kind of just going with the flow here is creating stuff just because I know what to do. But what is it? It's basically all spell attacks, magic attacks or whatever, is basically to affect vigor or vitality, hit points, to give them a penalty to their rolls, like a grievous wound, whether it's an actual grievous wound or just a penalty to their rolls, or those are together kind of like it could be a grievous wound. You must differentiate because if it's a regular penalty, then they'll recover from it just with some rest or getting away from the smoke or whatever. But if it's a grievous wound type of penalty, like a disease, poison, or an actual physical wound, then they can't recover from it, without getting healed, resting overnight, a longer type of situation where none can help them as well. So that's those two things, but they're just paying a penalty to the rolls. So what did I say? On their hit points, or vitality or vigor, or on the penalty to rolls, or on reducing their traits. That's basically it. And the trait ones should be rare. And usually the high level. They should be pretty rare. The draining of the spirit, draining of the strength. So there's that. And then of course that affects their rolls, they get reduced by so many. So those are really it. And I just play with the different versions of that, you know, with fire, poison, glare, evil eye, the evil eye, you know. So I just play with those type of things. And glare is basically evil eye, so I could probably put evil eye. Evil eye, glare, put both. Now the TR is 12. I could add more to that. That's in the game. You can make the TR 12 is normal for every sort of spell attack or whatever save. But the one that casts the spell, or that you do a faith blessing, but when they cast a spell, they can increase that, but they have to spend magic points to do it. So if they want to increase it by D4, they spend an extra magic point, you know, or D6 or whatever. But I'm going to keep it TR12, and if I feel like I want to increase that, I will. So his magic points right now is 6. But I'm going to give him more than that. Oh, I should do that with Hexahoon too. She has... where do I want to put this? I guess I should put it here. Magic points 10 plus D6. So she's got a lot. So she's prepared a lot. You know, she's got pouches and things that do all her evil spells or whatever, the magic stuff. Same with this guy. He's going to have magic points 6 plus D6. So he's got the evil eye. He can just look at you and just drain you of something. And, you know, if you just sat for a little while, it will return, kind of thing. Or if you do go into a prayer session, it'll return. You know, that's the kind of way I do duration now. So I don't have to worry about counting turns anymore. What else does he have? Shadows. Shadows and light. Shadows. He can go into the shadows really well, and so it almost feels magical, right? So that it's hard to see him. There we go. So duration, he's just going to spend on duration, you know, so that's, he can do D6, that's 2, you know, and obviously he can do D4, he can do D8. I'm just putting that as his normal duration. D6, there we go. Minus D6. So that's 4 magic points. He's basically hiding himself in the shadows, you know, for up to D6 turns, and at minus D6 to hit him. 4 magic points. Because he doesn't want to get hit. And he can do his evil eye from there. He can direct others. Summon evil spirit. Yes, evil spirit. Duration, same thing. D6. He does that, and then the evil spirit has D6 attack and D6 damage. Now when it's an evil spirit damage and it does D6, there's no armor save, so that's what makes it scary. The D6 attack is just the D6. No other, you know, just as a, and the damage is like a drain on your vitality. So that's kind of cool. That's going to be a lot. That 1, 2, 6. That's 6 magic points. 6 magic points. He's going to have, I'm going to say he bite invigorates D4 or D4 magic points. So he can get more magic points if he bites somebody and takes their blood. And he can do it to his own servants. Own servant auto. So if there's a servant next to him, this guy's mean. Okay. Or slave rather. You know? That servant. They're like, well, their servant isn't necessarily willing. They're just there as a slave. So that's pretty bad. Own slave servant auto. Okay, so what else? Evil spirit. So this is kind of creepy. Summons an evil spirit, and which makes sense. Summons evil spirit. But he's the vampire dude, so what else about vampires? Does he do the bat thing? Bat guana? Anything to do with bat guana? I think this is pretty good. I think this is enough. Because he's going to have warriors with him. I mean, I might come up with something else. Okay, but it's pretty evil. Oops, where am I at? Okay, Striga. Lord Striga? Lord Striga. Give him 14, just to be a little tougher. Oops. This guy's kind of tough. Okay, I'm going to make his armor heavy robes, but also they're going to give him a little defense because they're so big that when you strike him, it's kind of like a shield. You don't know if it's the body or the robe type of thing. So heavy robes +1. Just, you know, kind of like a magic item, but it's just based on the physicality of that heavy robe. So he has a defense of 16. So he's moving around. He can do the shadows. He's hard to hit. Obviously, he's going to have zealotry, right? He's going to okay, command. He's going to at least have command. And this is magic points. Gives his allies, gives minions bonus, like a bless to hit. So it's the same as a bless, but he can, kill them, hit them, and he can do it whenever. So he'll do D4, 1 MP, 1 magic point. Okay. And they can also go for denouement, but they're going to have a high denouement, like for his followers to stay and die, fight to the death. So let me just write that down. Keep the magic. Okay. Fight to the death. Bloodlust. To the death. Blast. I don't feel like he needs to spend magic points on this. So to the death, gives followers D12 to denouement, because this is demonic. This is like and D12 is like the highest for denouement. Oops, I did that. Okay. So vampiric lord sorcerer or Striga. I don't have a story on this guy yet, but I'm going to start building this out for that area. But this gives me sort of a sense of who this evil dude is. Now, here's what I think is really cool about my system. You don't have to make a 5th level, 7th level, 10th level, 13th level villain. They're all the same. Your characters are not going to get overpowered as they get glory points and upgrade their stuff. They are going to get good at their weapons, but they're only going to get to a certain point. And even then, so for instance, they could have, if they spend all their glory points, they could have a sword at D6. Sword plus D12 to hit and then D12 damage. They could do that. Now, beyond that, it gets really expensive. So I'm just saying that's kind of like the upper echelon. They can have that with a sword. They can have that with a battle axe. They can have it with anything. That's just based on their getting better and better at it. They can D12. But here's the thing. So the D12 is still you can still roll a 1. It's still roll a 1. And because in D&D and stuff, you always have it where they're +6, +7, +8. So they're always going to have that +8. They're always going to have that +10. All right. Well, in here, they have a D12. They don't have a +12. So there's a range. So they're always going to be threatened by regular things. So that's what's great about this. They have a better chance of succeeding, obviously, but they still have a chance of failing. And so they still have, everything is still going to be a threat at every level. So you don't have to worry about levels anymore. You just create things, and you get a feel for what they can handle. You start off small. Start off with a vigor of 6 or 4 or 6 for villains, and +4 or +2, and D4 damage. You can even just do D4. You don't even have to worry about making it based on the weapon or whatever. And just feel it out. See how easy they beat them, and then that's what so that's, you know, I can't go back to the levels thing anymore. I just can't do that. I can't go back to, you know, here's the 12 skills they can use. Can't go back to that. You gotta just pick up any skills you want. Okay. And this guy, I can write down some skills. Like, you know, it's got a command, just a regular command. So he has this one. That should be a skill, actually. Not even, I'll just leave it as it is. I mean, I could put skills down, like, but the skills would be more about them going up against the, like, role-playing. So, deceive? Well, that's kind of a weird skill. What could he? Well, he could deceive. It's against, say, any kind of leaders. Manipulate plus D6. That's against, like, the leader, you know, the castle duke or whoever. Manipulate plus D6. Oh, plant false evidence. Whoa. Plus D6. Plant secretly. Oh, give poison. I don't want to do that. Seduce. Manipulate is the same thing. That's enough. Plant false evidence. That's pretty creepy right there. Oof. Okay. His vigor is first. That's 14. So this guy's very physical. And his defense is a 16. Very moving. Okay. Oops. Done with that. Lord Striga. This guy's, you know, controlling a duke. I'm sure the duke is all into this vampire stuff, or the cult of it all. All right. So I think that's enough for now. I just made 2, but there they are. And again, you just you're free to make up whatever you want for them. Why not? You're free to, you know, the list of things that they can do. But they're very simplistic as in the effects or penalties that they give to the characters. So we keep this simple, the game system, but be descriptive on how this affects them. Oh, the wolf urine, you know, just be descriptive on what it does and make it fun and silly. So, so that's how we're doing this. And then these are the, how you can make different creepy dudes. Hope this was helpful for you. And I'll see you on the next one as I just build out the Dark Ages world. Thanks for watching. This stuff will be available somewhere on the annual membership. And of course, you can just take it here on the video if you want and use it. Alrighty.